After releasing my last video on saving Alfira and Quil from the Dark Urge in Baldur's Gate 3, I received some great feedback, questions, and a few points of confusion from you, the viewers. It's clear that this topic sparked a lot of interest, and I want to make sure everything is as clear as possible. In this video, I'm going to address some of the questions you've asked and clear up any mistakes that were made. I'm all about getting it right, so let's break it down and ensure you have everything you need to conquer the Dark Urge with a clean conscience. All right, before we dive into your questions, let's clear up a couple of mistakes I made in the last video. First off, I mentioned that the reward for resisting the Dark Urge and sparing Alfira and Quil was the potent robe. That was incorrect. The actual reward you miss out on is the Deathstalker Mantle. The Deathstalker Mantle is a powerful item that would have provided some serious advantages, but again, choosing to save lives means passing up on this reward. Secondly, I talked about saving Quil, but after reviewing the game and your feedback, it seems like that might not be possible after all. I'll go into more detail about this later in the video, so stay tuned for that explanation. Let's make sure we've got everything straight as we continue our journey through Baldur's Gate 3. One viewer asked if you can use the knockout method on the Dark Urge when Alfira shows up at camp. Unfortunately, this method doesn't work the way we'd hope. If you knock out the Dark Urge after Alfira arrives at your camp, you'll wake up the next morning to find Alfira dead. It's a bit of a mystery how it happens, but on the following long rest, you'll discover that your ever-loyal but completely misguided butler, Celeritas Fell, decided to do the dirty work for you. You'll find Alfira's body lying in the camp, and even if you try using Speak with Dead, she won't reveal anything about how she died. It's a real bummer, but it seems like there's no way around this grim outcome once she's in your camp.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Elfsong Tavern, Baldur's Gate.
Oh, sweet master, you're shivering. You'll get sick if you don't have your sweetmeats. It is too sad. I am too late. The conditions were all set up for the perfect crime, and your precious knife arm didn't take the bait. You were meant to kill the bard, my liege, then throw her into a ditch, river, pit, bog, or what have you. At least I'm here now to direct you towards further atrocities worthy of your station. You truly have been lost without your butler, haven't you?
Another viewer asked if Quil appears in the later acts if you use the knockout method. Unfortunately, this is the second mistake I made in my explanation in the last video. Like Alfira, Quil doesn't make it to the later acts because she ends up dead as well. If you knock out the Dark Urge, Celeritas Fell will take it upon himself to kill Quil, just like he does with Alfira. When you wake up, you'll find her body in your camp, and if you try using Speak with Dead, she won't say anything about how she died. So to answer the question, no, Quil doesn't appear in the later acts because she's already dead. It's a sad outcome, but that's how it plays out.
The corpse has nothing to say.
Another viewer pointed out that the pronunciation of some names in the last video wasn't quite right. Just to clarify, the voice you hear is AI generated, which sometimes doesn't get the pronunciation spot on. So let's get it right this time. For Alfira, it's pronounced Alfira, with emphasis on the second syllable. For Quil, it's Quil, with a short, sharp sound. Thanks for bringing this to my attention, and I'll do my best to make sure the names are pronounced correctly in future videos.
There is nothing else here, and no one else around. You and the corpse seem to have been alone together for quite some time.
So it looks like the Dark Urge can technically spare both Alfira and Quil, but thanks to that moron butler, Celeritas Fell, one of them is going to end up dead no matter what you do. The only thing you can really control is sparing them, and not being the one to personally end their lives. Sure, you won't get the reward, but at least you won't have to hide the body yourself. In the end, it's all about making the choices that let you sleep at night, even if it means dealing with the aftermath of your butler's mess. Remember, in Baldur's Gate 3, your decisions shape the story, but sometimes the game throws in a curveball, like a homicidal butler, to keep things interesting. Thanks for sticking with me through this deep dive into the Dark Urge. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on the next one. Keep making those tough choices, and I'll see you in the next video.
A light and delicate girl. It should be no trouble at all to toss her into a ditch. You roll her away, further bloodying your hands as you do. In lumbering style, you have gotten away with murder